Hey guys, it's Becca. So, welcome back to another episode of Becca's Life Not Going According to Plan. On Friday, the United States State Department issued a level 4 global travel advisory telling all Americans to come back to the US as soon as possible. So I packed up everything and I left the next day. I got a flight 24 hours after the advisory was issued, and I am now in New York City. So this was clearly not my plan. It was not how I intended this to go. I felt safe in Italy. I really did not want to put myself at risk, and I did not want to put others at risk. But in the end, the decision was made for me, and I decided to go with the guidance of the government. So after 12 days of lockdown in Italy, I am now starting a second full quarantine, again per the suggestion of the government, 2 full weeks without leaving the house in New York City. Only this time it's in a 300 square foot apartment, studio apartment, with my husband. So I know we are all being bombarded with news about coronavirus and what you can do. I feel like I said my piece in my video last week if you haven't seen it. So instead of talking about that, today I want to talk about art, my usual topic, and hopefully that will, help people get their minds off what's going on and remember that there are things going on other than the current pandemic. We still have a life. We are still moving forward in our own ways. About a month ago, before all this started really, or before it had an impact on me, I started working on The Artist's Way, which is a workbook style creative book that is meant to help people break out of a creative block. It's really famous in the art world because it sort of applies to any discipline, be it writing or sculpting or dancing or really any creative field. It's supposed to help you get through and access your creative energies over 12 weeks. Obviously, due to the current state of things, I haven't been able to really fully get through all the exercises because many of them require that you leave your house, and I have not been able to leave my house. But I have been sticking to one thing that's outlined in the book, and that is the morning pages. And the morning pages are very simple. You maybe have heard of them before from other people or other people who have gone through The Artist's Way. It's basically every morning, every single morning, you freehand write 3 pages. There's no guidelines, there's no ideas of what it's supposed to be. It's not eloquent, it's not a work of art. It's just 3 pages, freehand, stream of consciousness, whatever comes to mind. And I have really, really enjoyed this process, and I found it very grounding at this time when it seems like every day there's a new piece of news. My life seems like it's changing every day. I have this routine, this one thing that I'm doing every morning where I sit down and I write and I get those 3 pages out, and it does help me clear my head a lot. So that's something I've been sticking with from the book, and I'm really, really liking. And after doing this for a couple days, I had this idea that maybe I could do the same thing for drawing. And I don't know, maybe this idea already exists, but I'd never tried it before. So I thought, why not? So what I did was I gave myself a timer for 1 hour, and I used a marker, and I have 1 sheet of paper, and I just drew whatever came to mind for 1 hour. And it was not get guided by a prompt or an idea. It was just doodling and exploring and doing really whatever happened, whatever I felt like drawing, or whatever I saw, or whatever invented thing happened on the page. I just let it all go without any concept of there being a final product. And the results are pretty weird. I have to say, at the beginning, I think in the end this is a good process, and I'm glad I'm doing it, and I feel like I'm on track. But my initial reaction was that I was really disappointed. I felt like I had spent so much time studying technical art. I had spent so much energy learning how to draw things in a certain way, learning how to draw things in a realistic way, how to make an attractive composition, how to make something that looked nice, that looked impressive or technical. And the stuff that I'm drawing is none of those things. It doesn't look like anything that I aspire to. It doesn't look like anything I saved on Pinterest or anything that I have, recognized and really liked in my life. And that is a very difficult feeling, to feel like what you're making doesn't look like what in your brain you think is good art, air quotes, good art. And that can be, for me, it was quite disturbing that the art that I was making was not the art that I'd put all this effort into trying to naturally create. It was very different than what I wanted to make. But after the first day, I just kept going with it because, quite simply, like, it felt good. It felt cathartic, and it felt amazing to be freed from this idea that it didn't have to be professional, it didn't have to be cool, it didn't have to be anything impressive. It was just an exploration. It was just me sitting down and drawing, and that is a feeling that I have not felt for a long time. As you know, especially in the last little bit, I've just been so crippled by not wanting to do my own creative work because it felt like there was so much pressure on it. So just having this time to sit down, I look forward to it. I feel excited about it. I don't feel attached to the product, and that is something I've been really looking for. So while I don't feel so excited about the outcome, I feel like this is a process that's actually helping me get over some of my creative blocks and just, have a more authentic sense of what my art looks like. Even if it's not necessarily the kind of art that I wanted it to be, it is my own, and it is coming from a place that feels more authentic to me. And lastly, I've also been going through some of the other Proco hand lessons. I am struggling a lot with shadow mapping on the iPad, so that has made these exercises a bit of a drag, but I am pushing through them because I think they're helpful, and for me it's helping me get a little bit better at having more technical rendering on the iPad, but it's tough. It does not come naturally for me. The process from switching from traditional drawing in this style to digital is not intuitive. It's not simple. All right, guys, stay safe. I will be thinking of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.